What if I told you most people live their entire lives trapped in a mental prison they never even realize exists? This is not a metaphor. It is a neurological dead zone. You are reading this thinking you are awake, but 99% of humans operate on level 1 thinking, a basic loop of survival instincts and reactive habits. Think you are an exception. Let us test it. Picture this. Steve and Bill, two co-workers, both stuck in the same 9 to 5 job. Steve screams, "I am drowning in meetings," while Bill sighs, "I am waiting for my big break." Sound familiar? Here is the twist. Steve is on level 1. Bill is on level 2. Neither sees the bigger picture. They are just reacting. This is the foundational trap of human consciousness, and it is backed by more than just philosophy. A landmark study from Harvard University tracked the thoughts of thousands of people and found that nearly half of our waking hours are spent lost in a stream of unconscious, repetitive thinking. We are not living our lives. We are rehearsing them. Level 1 is pure reactivity. You are a puppet. Your environment pulls the strings. Traffic makes you angry. A critical email ruins your day. A compliment gives you a fleeting high. Your inner world is a direct, one-to-one mirror of external events. There is no gap between stimulus and your reaction. This is the state of an animal or a very young child. It is the birthplace of all anxiety because you have zero agency. You feel like life is happening to you. Consider the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment. Children who could not delay gratification, who reacted immediately to the desire for the treat, showed patterns that later correlated with lower life outcomes. They were stuck in level 1. Their impulse was their command. Most adults never graduate from this. They just learn to hide their reactions better. Level 2 is where the illusion of control begins. This is Bill waiting for his big break. Here, you start to craft narratives. You think you are making choices, but you are really just choosing from a menu written by your past conditioning, your culture, and your fears. You set goals. I will get that promotion. I will find the perfect partner. But these goals are often just sophisticated reactions to a deeper sense of lack. You are not acting from a place of true desire. You are acting from a place of wanting to fix something you believe is broken about you or your life. This level is seductive because it feels like progress. You are planning, striving, and comparing. Yet, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that extrinsic goals, like wealth and fame, pursued for approval, are linked to higher anxiety and lower well-being. That is level 2 in a nutshell. You are climbing a ladder desperately, only to realize, too late, it is leaning against the wrong wall. The jump to level 3 is the first moment of true shock. It is the question that breaks the trance. Why am I like this? You start to observe your own patterns. You notice that you always get defensive when your father calls. You see that your pursuit of money is really a pursuit of safety you never felt as a child. This is metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. It is deeply uncomfortable. The philosopher Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. He was describing the imperative to reach this level. Here, you are no longer just the actor in the play. You have walked into the balcony and are watching yourself perform. This is where real change becomes possible, but it is also where fear sets in. You are dismantling your identity, brick by brick. Everything you thought was solid begins to feel like a story. For a period, you may feel worse, not better, because you are aware of your suffering instead of just being lost in it. Then comes level 4, self-awareness. This is not just observing a single pattern. It is seeing the entire system of your mind. You understand that your thoughts are not facts. They are transient events in your consciousness, like clouds passing in the sky. You see that your identity, the person you call I, is a constructed bundle of memories, preferences, and habits. There is a space between you and your thoughts. In that space, there is freedom. This is supported by decades of mindfulness research. Studies from UCLA and Massachusetts General Hospital show that consistent mindfulness practice, which cultivates this observer perspective, physically thickens the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for executive function and self-regulation, and shrinks the amygdala, our fear center. You are literally rewiring your brain out of the prison of levels 1 and 2. The joy here is subtle but profound. It is the joy of no longer being at war with yourself. Level 5 is where inspiration truly ignites. You stop fighting reality and start playing with it. You realize you are not your job, your trauma, or your fears. You are the conscious space in which all those things appear. From this place, you can intentionally choose your responses. You can design your life from a place of purpose, not panic. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote about this from the depths of a Nazi concentration camp. He said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." He found level 5 in the most horrific circumstances imaginable. He could not change his environment, but he could choose the meaning he gave to his suffering. This is the level of the true artist, the innovator, the visionary. They are not reacting to the world. They are collaborating with it to create something new. Now, level 6 is the mind-bending frontier. This is where you realize you are not just the observer of the dream of reality. You are, in a fundamental way, the dreamer. This sounds like mysticism, but it is echoed in cutting-edge physics. The participatory universe theory, suggested by work like the double-slit experiment in quantum mechanics, implies that the observer is not separate from the system being observed. The act of observation collapses probability into reality. Your consciousness is not a passive receiver. It is an active participant in shaping what you perceive as real. At this level, your sense of a separate self dissolves into a wider field of awareness. Your actions stop being about personal gain and flow from a sense of interconnectedness. This is the territory of the great spiritual traditions, from non-duality in Advaita Vedanta to the concept of inter-being in Zen. It is not about becoming better. It is about realizing you were never separate to begin with. The vigilance here is constant. The ego, the level 2 identity, will try to claim this realization for itself. It will say, "I am enlightened." That is the final trap. The goal is not to reach level 6 and stay there like a trophy. The goal is to let the awareness of level 6 infuse every moment, even when you fall back to reacting like a level 1 human, which you will. So what do you do with this map? First, do not use it to judge yourself or others. That is a level 2 game. Use it as a diagnostic tool. Tonight, ask yourself one question. Am I thinking or am I being? Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Watch your thoughts. If your mind screams, "This is stupid," or "I am bored," you have just caught level 1 or 2 in the act. That is a win. That observation itself is level 3. Celebrate that. Second, introduce a gap. Before you react to anything today, take one conscious breath. In that tiny space, you are building the muscle for level 4. Third, seek out experiences that shatter your narratives. Travel alone. Talk to someone with radically different politics. Read a philosophy book that confuses you. Your brain grows at the edge of discomfort, not in the comfort of confirmed beliefs. This is how you caught level 5. The system does not want you to know this. Every algorithm is designed to keep you in a state of reactive consumption, a perfect level 1 and 2 loop. Every advertisement sells you a solution to a lack it first convinced you that you have. This is not a conspiracy. It is an economic and social inertia that profits from your unconsciousness. Waking up is the most rebellious act you can commit. It is also the most generous. Because when you free yourself from the internal prison, you stop building prisons for others, whether through judgment, control, or fear. Your presence becomes a space of possibility for everyone around you. Reality is not fixed. It is a dream we all co-create. And the highest level of thinking is not about figuring it all out. It is about realizing you are the dreamer and you can change the dream. Now, who is ready to wake up? What if the only prison you have ever known was your own mind?